spirit of culture. That's the belief of social cohesion, nationally and international, of course. We also believe that the model of South African social cohesion could be adopted by the SADC countries. We believe that if we can do that, then we can be the continent that is being appreciated in the whole world. Thank you. We support the program. Enkosi kakhulu Mama Uchocho. Bamkhahlele. Enkosi Dudumayo ngokundinceda. And economic viability. Funa ukuthi abantu zebamane beyokroba phayana sine exhibitions zabantu abazosibonisa izinto abazenzela sisa uMiss Khwezi Kunene. Ithi ke ikhampani ifana nekhaya xa imane andithenda lapha ekhaya xa sisenza imisebenzi siye sibe notata omkhulu okanye utata omncinci omane fika campus yethu azothi hayi apha emayirhe nakwenziwa kanje elisiko lokuqaba umntana lihamba kanje. I-reference group ke yilo campus ethi isincedise nathi as a department to say hayi ukwenzela uba nibe lento ye-social cohesion niyenza kakuhle okanye lento ye-Africa Month niyenza kakuhle okanye nazi into ezimele ukwenziwa. Ndizawucela kubiza uMiss Khwezi Kunene oyiphathi ye-campus that helps to steer the department.
Good morning, Sanbonani, Molweni, and in the spirit of Africa Month, Salamu. Firstly, I'd like to start by observing protocol and greet the Honorable Deputy Minister, Minister Noktawe Mafu, Nkosi, Mandela, Namakosi Onke present today. I'd like to also greet the MECs of various provinces present, executive mayors, ambassadors, DSEC entities and their CEOs, council members, esteemed guests, ladies and gentlemen. I stand before you today representing the Africa Month Reference Group as selected by the Minister of Sports, Arts and Culture. The purpose of the reference group is to provide strategic guidance to align South Africa-led initiatives to support the African Union Agenda of 2063. Africa Day is intended to celebrate and acknowledge the successes of the AU over the past 60 years, from its inception on May the 25th. We seek to align Africa Month's programs with other a clear commitment in actively positioning the role of arts, culture, and heritage. The African Union, Ms. Mufmadi from Freedom Park Museum, Ms. Kunene from the Playhouse Company and KZN Museum, Mr. Dada from Afrima, Ms. Mashi Mbai from Afrimix Bank, Ambassador Mokwena from DERCO, and Mr. Varisu from Africa World Heritage Fund. As a collective, we are excited and honored to be part of this initiative as led by Minister Zizi Kodwa. We stand in full support of all programs to promote and bring awareness on the significance of Africa Day. As ambassadors of Africa Day celebrations, we will be creating partnerships with civil society, business or the private sector, and diaspora to promote the African, contribute ideas and knowledge to strengthen of ideas, cultural and creative activities, cultural exchange programs. We seek to enhance and magnify the golden concerted effort to help us recognize that there is, I quote, unity in our diversity, unquote. By celebrating our common heritage, we seek to cement and create opportunities of partnerships with other organizations and movements by our forefathers who have sacrificed their lives as Pan-Africanists. Today, we stand on shoulders of giant leaders like Tata Nelson Mandela, Samora Machel, and many others we all admire. Today, we dare to dream of an Africa that is free from gender-based violence, racism, inequalities, crime, conflict, and poverty. And as the Africa Day Reference Group, our focus is to pick up the baton and register contribution in achieving a united Africa for all Africans.
You know, what Africa Month is all about is the promotion of culture. Kwindawo kwakusithiwa kuse-Transkei njengam ndandikhulela kwindawo kwakuthiwa sasinawutishara fundisa thina. So cultural diplomacy kwakudala siyenza siyayazi support from our ambassador, Her Excellency Mrs. Maureen Moreno, Ambassador of the Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela in South Africa, to give us a message of support.
Good morning. Africa. Viva Africa! My dear sister, Deputy Minister, Nokawe Nonsego Mafu, the MEC Honorable Nonseba Consigue, yes, representative of the Executive Mayor, the Chief, Dudumayo, my dear comrade, friend, and brother, Mandela Mandela, my sister, the Leka Mandela, all my dear colleagues, members of the Diplomatic Corps. Today I'm here with my colleague from Guyana, our High Commissioner for 4th July, and also my colleague from Libya is here, and CEO of the Nelson Mandela Museum, dear colleagues, all the protocol observers, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, it's an honor for me to be here today as Ambassador of the Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela and Dean of the Latin American and Caribbean Group, GRULAC, to celebrate the month of Africa, of our mother Africa, especially in this historic place, the land of that saw the birth of the South African father of freedom, Nelson Mandela. I am honored to be accompanied by my colleagues from the Republic of Guyana and Libya. Guyana represents our region, and Libya represents our both continents. I would like to take this opportunity to congratulate the South African people on the 29th anniversary of Freedom Day, the last 27th of April. It was a struggle that demonstrated the true grit and strength of the people of South Africa, and one with which Latin America and the Caribbean identify and have contributed to. Africa and Latin America and the Caribbean have much in common. Our African heritage is immense. Our African ancestors brought with them a variety of cultural influence that undoubtedly enriched Latin American and Caribbean culture with their language, beliefs, and traditions. The conditions under which Africans were taken and enslaved did not prevent them from keeping their culture alive. The Afro-Americans maintained above all their music and religion. The music invaded the American continent and the Caribbean. The jazz, mambo from Cuba, salsa from Puerto Rico, reggae from Jamaica, merengue from Dominican Republic, samba from Brazil, and candombe also in Uruguay, calypso from Trinidad and Tobago and Venezuela. Just to name a few are examples of this influence. The strong African influence in Latin America can be seen there in the music, dance, art, culture, manner of speech, practice in our region. In the 19th century, the celebration on 20th century it attracted all social classes. culture and Tobago and Brazil. In the gastronomy, we eat basically the same things. Separate in different ways. Ingredients in cassava. Hallacas, and many other delicious dishes. Speaking of my cultural of our heritage, the dancing devil of Venezuela. The veneration of portion of San Juan Bautista, European language, reflecting West African speech pattern, regardless of whether it's English, French, Spanish, or Dutch. The French spoken in Haiti, for example, is a language of its own, while the official language is Papiamento. And beyond this rich cultural heritage, lies people from the colonial yoke. Say, the Latin America, the Caribbean, and Africa are one same people. Political reality of our continent in the deeps of the immense African territory, where I am sure the humanity. In the same way, the empire on the past, guilty of kidnapping and murdering millions of daughters and sons of Mother Africa to feed a system of slave exploitation in their colonies, showered in our land, gave birth to men of the stature of Alexander Petion and Toussaint Louverture in Haiti, Aimé Césaire in Martinique, Maurice Bishop in Grenada, Jean-Baptiste Bidot in Santa Lucia, Eric Williams and Claudia Jones in Trinidad and Tobago, Walter Rodney in Guyana, Rosa Lavallamesa in Cuba, Amy Eswood in Marcus Garvey in Jamaica, Pedro Camejo and José Leonardo Chirinos in Venezuela, among many others who more than 200 years ago initiated a process of independence, unionism, anti-imperialism, and reconstruction in Latin America and the Caribbean. Those who conquered us in the past, blind by their thirst for power, failed to realize that the barbaric colonialism that they impose will become the founding element of our first independence. And so, although Latin America and the Caribbean together with Africa share a past of oppression and slavery, today, more than ever, we are the children of our liberators and their deaths. We must say with conviction and firmness that we are also united by a present of our warming struggle for the freedom and definitive independence of our nations. And will not tire of reiterating it, as Chavez says. We are one people. We are obligated to meet beyond formalities and discourse in the same feeling of our unity, and thus together give life to the equation that will have to be applied in the construction of the condition that will allow us to finish pulling our people out of the labyrinth into which they were through by colonialism, and then neoliberal capitalism on the 20th century. It is our continent, our Africa and Latin America, where we find sufficient natural, political, and historical resources required to save the planet from the chaos to which it has been driven. Let us not lose the opportunity that the independent sacrifice of our ancestors gives us today to unify our capacities to turn our nation into a true pole of power, which, to say I like our liberator Simón Bolívar, is greater for its freedom and glory than for its extension and riches. Brothers and sisters, our South-South cooperation must be an authentic and permanent bond of joint work that must turn all its strategies and plans for sustainable development toward the South, toward our people, for a better Africa and better world. This unity must be deepened and made a reality through prosperity, peace, and modernity, not only for Africa, but for Latin America and the Caribbean as well. And the Congress of Angostura in 1819, our liberator Simón Bolívar clearly stated, they say, let us bear in mind the Latin American and the Caribbean are not the European, are not the North American, but rather a composite Latin American and Caribbean and Africa.
Sinking low, scatterlings and fugitives seek refuge in the night. They are the scatterlings of Africa, each uprooted one. On the ancient bones from old to find, echoes of the very first cry. Who made me hear and why? Beneath the upper sun, African idea. Make the future clear. And be the scatterings of Africa. We run alone together, beneath the upper sky. Far below, we live forever. Dreams of what we were.
kube mnandi. And uqonda uba kumnandi apha. Sinabo nabefundisi. Nceku siyabulisa. Ngoku ithenda yam ebendinikiwe is about to come to an end. Kungene olandelayo. But phambi koba ndihle andithi xa unikwe ithenda uyamana ufuna ufincelela uthi ndifuna nje laa nto isephaya ezantsi ebhekileni. Ndicela apha entluzweni yam ndicela ukuphakamisa umama wethu MEC of Sport Arts and Culture wase KZN umama uSithole Muloyi azosibulisa nje ndivile kuthiwa uhamba notata wakwakhe.
Thank you, Program Director. Greetings to DM, our Deputy Minister, Usis Notawe, Inkosi Yazkona, the excellencies that are part of this August event, all MEC uqawami ngaze ngenye mina ngangiphi ithuba lokubulisa Usis Noncede. Sisuka kude naye. We have been around for a long time kodwa sikugile ukuthi nje sesiqale sibancane uhamba yesindlela family ya tata omkhulu tata Mandela yonke ekhona ama entities and all structures that supports and work with Department of Sports, Arts and Culture. Ngiyabulisa kini na nonke who has made this day a wonderful day. You look so beautiful. Amadoda, you handsome guys. The ladies, you so beautiful. Because ngizokuthiwa kuyahlukanisa ngafunda kudala esikoleni ukuthi u handsome awukwazi ukuthi u beautiful. Kodwa no beautiful awukwazi ukuthi u handsome. Shuthi ke nami ke ngithi ke you all look beautiful and handsome. Nibahle, ninxibe kakuhle. AndingomXhosa, ndingumZulu othathwe ngabeSuthu. Ngabe nama nje ngiyabuwa sengisele lento kuba ndihambile. Awuhambile uthetha ulimi la kulondawo kuyo. Ungathetha ulimi la kule ndawo uganele kuyo nala uvela khona. Bazawubona ba hey lo muntu akakho ezintweni akazazi izinto. Kuyathethwa apha kuxoxwa kukhulunywa kubuwa apha. Thetha ke nawe wethu. Ndizothi nje happy Africa Day month. And we celebrate this Africa Month as people of Africa, and we pride ourselves to be Africans, and there is no other way that you would think that someday I would think to be another, from another continent other than Africa. It's beautiful, we have different cultures, and unity in diversity makes us a wonderful country. As South Africa, siyaziqhenya kakhulu ukuba yingxenye ye-Africa. And certainly DM sibonga kakhulu with the minister to make this day and this launch a successful launch. All the best to all of us that we have made this day possible for us to launch Africa Month. Sesiyaphuma ke sesiyokhuluma ngama languages wethu ahlukeneyo, siyokhuluma senze amasiko ethu. Nami ndinxibe ngolhlobo njengoba ndimele ezizabeSuthu ngoba nje bethi ndifaka nami umbhaco wami ngathi wathiwa yo sewufaka umbhaco noba sekhona umuntu omfunayo phakathi kwaXhosa. Ngathi hayi kanti mandinxibe sona isiJarimane lesi sabeSuthu. That is a joy I have to be part of this event. Ndibulela kakhulu baningiphi ixesha loba ndibulise ndithi ke enkosi kakhulu ngaleyo mzuzu enindiphe wona. All the best, and I wish everybody a safe journey when we go back home. Thank you.
To the people, just wave. Can I have High Commissioner Wase Guyana naye to do the same and say hi to us?
What shall we do?
Umamu Moreno in her first speech said, we are the children of our liberators. And ndiyasuka ke ndiyohlala phansi with the knowledge that I'm a child of i-liberators zethu ezifana notata uMandela, notata OR. So we should be proud ngento ezinjalo. Kuba ke itenda yam DM iphela, ndizawucela i-performance kwithuluzi obona dance group indihlise kakuhle estagini. Enkosi enisi ngokundihlisa le group ikhapha yona. kwithula uzobona dance group besenzela into ekuthiwa yimfene. Xa unesici ungabi nayo i-dance group eyenza imfene awukabi nasici. Ndizawunyusa ke ngoku uDr. Vuyani Boy ongu-CEO waseMandela Museum eBhunga Building nalapha eQunu ibe nguye umbhexeshi nkqubo ukususela ngoku ukuya phambili. Phambi kokuba ndihle ndifuna ubulela i-sign language interpreters zethu uMiss Fumane Tladi noMiss Aphiwe Fihlani. Enkosi kakhulu Dr. Boy.
Aman! Viva Nelson Mandela, viva! Viva Nelson Mandela, viva! Viva Comrade Kenneth Kauda, viva! Amanda! Amanda! I-Africa! I-Africa! Mayibuye! Mayibuye! Amanda! Yeah, now I can feel that I'm dealing with the generation of the liberation struggle. I thought it's fading away, and it is not. Mabauyeke, Mabau. There you go. Pagama, Pagama. Mabauyeke. Tina Caesar, Africa, tatwa, gamabu, mabauyeke, mabauyeku. Mabauyeke, mabauyekunda. Aluta continue, aluta. Aluta continue, aluta. Struggle continues. Yeah, Amanda. Thank you, thank you. In fact, this is a state function, so I don't have to call you comrades. I've got to call you Mr., Mrs. Minister and all that. I've got by all means to observe the protocol. Mandibulise ku minister, ku deputy minister, umama unocawe olapha phakathi kwethu. Ndibulise nakwiziphathamandla ahamba nazo. All the ambassadors from different African countries and those abroad. Deepening said, all my council members that are here. Dibulise unkosi umama uBhalinzulu walapha eQunu. Dibulisa wonke umuntu andifuna ukuniphazama ndibulise kunye no-MC wethu umama uKonsiwe walapha eEastern Cape and all the important of VIPs ezikhoyo phakathi kwethu. And all the ambassadors from different parts of this world. Ndiyanibulisa ke comrades. Ndiyanibulisa ke bantu basekhaya. Ndithi ke kuni ke ndim ophethe iprogram ke ngoku. Ndifuna ukuba nibopha amabhanti ngokuba siya apho kwayiwa. Before Ndilibala, I've just been given a message that on your left, kukho craft there where you can buy nice stuff for your wife, for your when you go back home. Yeah, thank you for that. Mna ke ndiyayiqalisa program, and I'm gonna start from Omama, products of the liberation struggle. So we just cannot fold our arms as if nothing actually happened to liberate us today. So if bekunjalo, I would ask at least aphakame ngegwijo lakhe alta, just igwijo lomzabalazo. We need not to forget where we come from, so that ama 2000 they may understand the kind of the legacy and the values of Nelson Mandela we are pursuing here. Uncula mama? Uncula?
Oliver wetambo tina siqoti wekaya. Oliver wetambo tina siqoti wekaya. Oliver molo soja. Oliver molo soja. Oliver molo soja. Oliver molo soja. Oliver yeah. Batambo tina siqoti wekaya. Oliver wetambo. Tina siqoti wekaya. Oliver molo soja. Oliver molo soja. Amanda! Away to all power to the people in Africa. Mayibuye. Enkosi kakhulu program director man Tatel Tuban Bulise kuwe bobabino program director. Dibulise bethuna omele umeya walapha KSD. Umntwana omhle uacting mayor uNkosi uDudumayo. Adalses andikhahleli khande yabulisa. Dibulisa ke ndinebhongo lokuba iDepartment of National Department of Arts and Culture ikhethe le ndawo apha KSD. Uyayazi ke uba this is soon to be a metro, kodwa mabalungisa ukuhlala. Siyabaxhasa kakhulu so that KSD in the upcoming years sithethe ngemetro yesithathu in the Eastern Cape. Niyava ngani niyasebenza kuyasetyenzelwa imetro. Dibulise uDeputy Minister wethu uMambathane uMamxesibe ukhanda nyawana uDM Mafu Fondini intombi engumntana kaMarhadebe. Molo DM, siyabulisa kakhulu kuwe. Dibulise umphathiswa MEC waka Arts and Culture obambeleyo waKwaZulu Natala ebumelwaneni uHonorable Bongi Sithole Moloyi. We have been warned uba simbizanga la Moloyi obanzima. No ndimbizile ke uBongi Tata Moloyi. So ndi right ke. Dibulise bethuna uchairperson uButsturi. Chairperson we Dan Pasia Foundation benibonile ke uButsturi apha andimboni ngoku ndiyambulisa naye. Ucommissioner wethu in the province uMiss Lula Masizani we Public Service Commission. Mololulu Dibulise government officials from different departments that are here. Dibone no acting DG wakwa Department of Arts and Culture, no acting HOD wakwa DISRAC KZN uDr Sifunda, nezinye i-government officials that are here, ukhona u-district director wela sebe lethu bethunana, uMr Mdlangazi, noko ke xa seyinguye engekho HOD, angakayifumane esi sicoco. Ndibulise abantwana abahle. Abantwana begazi bethuna abakhoyo apha. Kodwa ndibona umzukulwana wabaThembu. Kuthiwa ke abaThembu ngabaThembu abamabela bhuzubhuzu. Ozondwa, omadiba. Bade ke uninzi lona apha abaThembu abahle, ngakumbi olusapho lalapha kwaTata omkhulu Mandela. Sinedinga nesigqibo esasenzayo ngoDisemba xa sasikhumbula iminyaka elithoba yokusweleka kaTata uMandela, sasilapha eMthatha phaya edolophini emuseum. Uba kukho noko isankxwe sabantu balapha bangandwendwela kwingcwaba likatata omkhulu. Siwuxoxe lo mba kakhulu ukwenzela uba noko imoto zihamba pha bame ngenhliziyo babukele ngenhliziyo. Kodwa ke ndiyavuya uba noko sesibusondela ekusongeni lo soon to be opened for the tourism. Hayi masiqhwabeni ngethemba. Siqhwaba ngethemba ke. Ndibulise abantu balapha bethuna. Nonke nizi-VIPs kaMeyi sihlonipha njengenyanga esithi inyanga yobu-Afrika. Singama-Afrika, we are proud, very proud to be Africans. Ndike ndiyibone ke laa nto uba when they are reading Bible, they are more recognizing and acknowledging the role played by Israelites and Jews. Balibali ba yes ngundle unyoka eminyama ecanda iziziba asizikhethelanga ndim ke lo ndingumsuthukazi. Ngoku ndiyayiqonda into yoba baphakamise kakhulu laa mnombo wamaJuda, ufike bebacwaba ooPawulosi nooMateyu. Balibali ba ingase bacwabe namavundle oobhayi noomadiba aba oodlomo. Uyaqonda njengoba singama-Afrika, we did not choose to be Africans, but we were created to be Africans. And therefore noba sesiguquke kangakanani, iBhayibhile siyifunda from line 1 to the last line in the Revelations, kodwa we must never forget that we are Africans. Sisungulolo suku ke namhlanje siyazidla kakhulu ngaloo nto ukuba sidibenise izizwe ngezizwe. Nditsho ke ndikhahlela kwi-ambassadors that are here amongst us from Venezuela, from the different countries, South America, yaba, or from Libya. Kukho abantu ngabantu apha nabapha ebumelwaneni ke esibabizi bango my friend abathi I'm not your friend, my friend. Bakhona apha phakathi kwethu namhlanje. Kuyafuneka ukuba sibasondeze, oh my friend, your friend, because kunezityholo zezinto ezimbi ezingamanyumnyezi nezilihlazo abayezenza phakathi kwabantu esihlala nabo. Singabazi noba bangobani amagama abo, sitsho singakwazi noba bamba xa sesithe sabona imikhuba emibi abayenzileyo. Ngoko ke ngolusuku lwanamhlanje uba usemmelwaneni wakho maziba ngubani ukwenzela noxa kuphinde angaqondakala umkrweca hayi kaloku meza. Asimoshani ngolu hlobo thina Africans. We need to respect one another, we need to take care of one another, sihloniphane. Eyona nto ke sizidla ngayo ke singama-Afrika kukuba sihlonipha ukohlukana kwethu. Uyabona mos thina sizizwe ezahlukene gqithi. abanye bathetha ezinye ilwimi abanye bathetha isiXhosa abanye bakhumsha njalo njalo iziSuthu iziPedi ndingazibiza zonke izizulu nezinye nesishona. But what unites us is being African. Yona nto ifanele ba iyasi unite. Ndiyayibona ke DM. This is very beautiful what you have done there. This is showcasing the different countries in Africa. As our flags bonakalisa ubutina kumele uba siyonwabele lonto. Indlela esixhensa ngayo thina, indlela esicula ngayo xa sonwabile, indlela esicula ngayo xa sikhathazekile. Thina ma-Afrika umculo nje into yethu. Uba apha siyayiqonda lonto le songa ningandinqenela uba when we are sad we sing, when we are happy we sing, when you are very very down to earth, your chips are down, you have your own song that is very and it's soothing you up. Uzibone so phinda uthi dwaps. So as Africans yindlela uThixo asidale ngayo. Bendike ndamamela ke elinye ibali ukuba ngeli xesha kwakusilwa ezimfazwe zininzi zazike zaqhubeka apha eAfrica, abantu of the other countries outside Africa were saying there's one thing unique about Africans, but they are tall, they are very handsome. Yabona nami ngondinijongile lapho indlela nje enibahle ngayo, and more to other countries. There is no other country that has people that are beautiful, handsome as Africans. So funeka sizidle ngalonto le. Ayokuthanda kwethu kodwa i-creation yalo usidalileyo ke siye simbize ngendlela mna ke ndithi uNkulunkulu andibazi kabanye bambiza njani. Kodwa sidibana namhlanje apha izolo nge1st kaMeyi we were celebrating the Workers' Day. Eyona nto ibalulekileyo ke ngalwa suku into bana kule mizabalazo yenzekayo in the struggles for liberation, also workers struggled so much to such an extent that government allowed them their rights and recognized their struggles. Hence we are having the 1st of May celebrated as the Workers' Day. Ndiyayiqonda kabanye uba when we have that day as a holiday, bacinga uba yimini yokwenza inwele, imini yokuhlamba washing. I want to urge you to attend to these rallies of celebrating the Workers' Day, so you know the history that has brought us where we are today. It was not just for fun. The blood has been spilled for the liberation. People fought for that right to be there. So funeka siye pha ke sikhunjuzwe because we tend to forget where we come from. But Honorable DM and the program director, as the Eastern Cape, we are proud to say this year we will be commemorating the 9 wars of resistance. We are the only province that has these wars of dispossession, where our kings and chiefs fought against the white authorities at the times, the wars that were fought for 100 years. This year in May, we will be commemorating those years. We know and acknowledge that yes, KZN is always celebrating the Battle of Isandlwane, and we really appreciate that. And we're saying ours was not just a battle, but it was wars that were only fought in this province throughout the country. And this year we've taken a decision through the SOPA of the Premier and the department, even the cabinet have agreed to that. We are going to host that, acknowledging the role played by Inkosi zethu, Onkosi Msobo Mvuma abefundisi bethu, Omfundisi John Knox Bokwe, and many others. So this year reminds us, ndiyafuna ke abantu ba ezi zinto singazithathi kancinci, because abantu soloko besithi zi-frontier wars, they were never frontier wars. I-Frontier is a war that is fought between the two equal partners. These were fought between the unequal partners because the British were more powerful. Abethu babesiya ngentonga. Then amangesi aze ngemipu. Imagine ulwa uya ngentonga empini. Hence the people died in big numbers. So kulonyaka ke senza lonto. Kodwa ke sizawubona ezunyaka uhamba nje sizawuphithizela because we must remember where we come from. Mhlambi le democracy abantu bengayihloniphi kangaka nje into bana balibele uba sisukaphi. So we want to plead with the people of the Eastern Cape, of the country and of this area, KZN, yabona bonke KZN yapopular, KSD and in particular OR Tambo, so that at least we remember where we come from, for we are going to know where we are heading for. Ukwenzela ba le freedom siyazi ba this freedom indeed was not free. Kwabantu abafa bengayixhamlanga lenkululeko thina sidlala ngayo namhlanje sithethe unothanda silalapho sithanda khona ngoba sithi siphetheke kakuhle. Siyabulela kakhulu, siyanqwena ukuba xa siphuma apha noko noba zimbini zintathu izinto wonke umuntu olapha abe ufunde nto kulo msebenzi ulapha kuba sizawuhlala siyenza lento. Let us not forget where we come from. Isizwe ke esingazaziyo apho sivela khona kusekuhleni ukuba singazazi apho siyawuphelela khona. Ndiyabulela kakhulu.
Ongevanga ngabe indlebe besivalele nina yeke ninirhuqayo ndiyabona biyachambaza ngelike ndikhobela izandla njengoyibuka. Hayi hayi kala kumadoda hayi hayi kala kumadoda hayi ndike ndibeve besithi mbongi ziyadwanduluka bambi bathi ziyakhabalaka kodwa mna nzorharhama ngendikhanisa ndiklinika ndicela nonkale xingela udakeni ndizovada kuvokothekile kuba ndivakatshanga ndibiziwe. Yiyo loo nto ndisitsho ndisithi phezulu ngobuAfrika bethu, phezulu ngokuzithemba nokuzithanda, phezulu masingayilahli imvo yethu, singalahli imbongophoyana. Uba kudlale nangesixhosa sakho uciciyele kwabuciko ucakace ucacise ucazulule de bacacelwe cha kwabuchulu uqinise baqhubeke uchukumiseke uchancathe uchazeke. Makwedini masirhuqa norhangahanga umrhatshi sirhubuluse kulwakarharha bomhlaba. Masingabe sisithixithixi masibe yimithinga kaThixo. Khawusondele kaloku ntombi yakwaXesibe nditsho kuwe makhandanyawana ntombi ndinabuso buthambileyo ngonga xa kunotshisilanga bungatyabuka. Ntombi ndinamabele aqinila kuba zange wancamathelwa abafana ucacisa isizwe. Ntombi ndinamathanga mdaka ukwazi ukusingatha iingxaki zesizwe. Ntombi ndinomqolo uvetyevetje ukwazi ukubeleka iingxaki zentsapho zesizwe. Fumani kansitsho ndisithi ungumagxaka xhala kanaxhala ngenxa utya umxhaxha ingomxhaka uxhaxhamisa abaxhalathelane zange abanangquba kaxaka. Ngumxhosa othe xhoxhoxho vumani kansitsho ndisithi ungugqada mbekwe noqhaqhathi ke ngaqhathwa qhatshikazi neqhawekazi esoqhayisa sinqontsonqa neqhayi esinalo ngawe. Vumani kansitsho ndisithi masibambaneni sizwe sintsundu, masithandaneni mzwakuthi, makwedini masilahleni iziyobisi simele isizwe sethu. Makwedini kanyekeni utyutywala soba sisityabatyoba sibe tyumtyumu kwamatyutyusi xa sizohla sidlikihla sihlala lohlomdlayo. Masikhabalaze sicela khakha singabi ngomakhatshakho sikhathale. Vumani xa ndisitsho ndisithi khawuze nawe Yehova ngoba ngoba naba umela thina xa isizwe sihlwengula abantwana nabomama. Khawuze kukhona nangalo nombolo yomnxeba wakhe sesimtsalele tshotsho ubekho 17 lezigcisa nenkcubeko ngokuphakamisa izakhono zethu sivele ebantwini. Le nto imbongi ingathetha de kuphela mathe rhamnyomni yo go.
Umandela uthayihlomi Enkosi kakhulu ndibulele imbongi yomthonyama esuka apha siyabonga kakhulu kuyatshiwo kaloku into ba imbongi zinto ezivele zibhodle nje siyabulela ngomyalezo othe wawenza ngelaxesha ubongayo abaphathi behlelo Vuyani Boy kunye no Chief Director we Department uZimasa Velaphi oselehleli phansi ngoku ukumkani walapha ebathenjini ongekhoyo phakathi kwethu kodwa othe wathumela lowo uza kummela ukumkani ubuyele ekhaya Dalindyebo kumhlaba wakhe lo wasebathanjini asikwazi ke ukucinga into abana sizokwazi ungambulisi noba akapha kosizwelivelile Mandela inkosi yasemvezo siyabulela ngobukho bakho phakathi kwethu Her Excellency uAmbassador Moreno Ambassador of the Bolivian Republic of Venezuela and Chairperson of the GRULAC Group siyabulela. And we want to thank you from the Latin America and the Caribbean for the friendship that you've always been given to the African continent. All ambassadors that are here, particularly Ambassador Forbes July from the Guyana Republic, Ambassador Abdul Wahab from Libya. Thank you. We know the history that we have with your countries. And we understand why you are here, because you know what binds us as Africa and yourselves. Honorable Nongeba Konsiwe, MEC of Sport, Recreation, Arts and Culture, Kwelempuma Koloni, Enkosi Mabayi ngobukho bakho. Honorable Bongi Sithole Mloyi, MEC for Sport, Recreation, Arts and Culture, KwaZulu-Natal. You know that uba ubungazanga apha beningazokuthetisa the whole year. That's why you came. Councillor Tutumayo, thank you for coming to represent uMasipala walapha eKing Sabata Dalindyebo. Bonke abaphuma kwi-entities zikahulumente, particularly lesikuyo apha iNelson Mandela Museum abakhokhelwe ngumntaka Scott apha emva kwam i-council yonke Sisindileka, thank you so much for hosting us. Members of the Africa Month Reference Group, Ukwezi was here representing them. Nonke ngokubaluleka kwenu bahlali basequnu abathembu umhlaba wabathembu niyabuliswa bethuna intombi yasemaXesibeni ithi molweni niphilile Siyabulela abo bathatha indaba bethuna siyazi ukuthi ukuba ngaba bebengekho bezingazukwazi ezindaba usiyokufikelela kwabo bangekhoyo ukuthi apha. Ndizawuthetha ke ndixube ukwenzela into bana singashiyani ngokuthetha. Iindwendwe zethu zindive kodwa nani nikwazi ukundiva. Ku right ngolo hlobo. So ndizawuxuba isiXhosa nesiNgesi. Niyavumelana nami? Hayi ke ndiyabulela kakhulu. Ndivuya kakhulu ke uba lapha ingakumbi kaloku namhlanje sizokuthi inyanga kaMeyi ibaluleke kanjani kuthi singama-Afrika nokuthi kubalulekile ukuthi sithethe sivumelane into ba simephi ngempucuko yethu sibhekaphi singurhulumente. Asikafiki apho siyakhona kodwa ithemba likhulu kona lokuba lo rhulumente uyaqhuba. Nizamane nizibuza ke into yokokuba kutheni size apha sikhethe le ndawo yenu saziyeka zonke indawo apha eMzantsi Afrika. Siza apha kaloku kuba phakathi kwezinye izinto uMadiba omde ugqiba iminyaka 10 wasishiyayo apha emhlabeni. Sathi ke nangona sizawubuya ngoJulayi ngenyanga yakhe kodwa masizonyathela apha kuba siyamazi uhlobo lithanda ngalo ilizwe lakhe nelizwekazi leAfrika. uMadiba ke nangoku siqinisekile into ba uncumile uncumele into apha emva kwexesha elide le ndawo ibikhe ayasebenza yavala. Siyayivula ke launching the Africa Month in Qunu is an acknowledgement of President Mandela's contribution to Pan-Africanism. Madiba's 1962 visit to Tanzania, to Ethiopia, to Egypt, to Ghana, to Algeria, and Guinea had a profound impact on him and to the people that he visited. He was influenced by the tactics of other liberation movements. Tata Mandela realized that a pan-Africanist approach to the fight against apartheid was the only way to gain allies in the war against the racist regime. Ndiye ndithi ke xa ndithetha ndiphantse ndiqinisekile ukuba uMadiba njengokuba wavizithela ezindawo ngo1962 njengokuba imbali isitsho into yokuba ngo1963 kwaye kwafonyishwa iOrganization of African Unity. Ezinye zeengxoxo zakhe nezinkokheli zalamazwe yayiyinto yokudibanisa eli lizwekazi leAfrika. On Saturday, the 29th of April, isebe eli lithe yadibanisa nesebe eli lephondo apha eTyalaga kwabakho ezemidlalo zebhola, inetball kunye nesoka. Le tournament ke endithemba into yokokuba ibisapotiwe kangangoko ibalulekile. Ibaluleka ngokuba phakathi kwezinye izinto uMzantsi Afrika will be hosting the Netball World Cup kulonyaka. Uyihosta ke le Netball World Cup phaya eKapa eNtshona Koloni ukusukela ngomhla we-28 kaJulayi ukuyokuma ngomhla we-6 kuAugust. Siyayazi ke into yokokuba le World Cup nangona isiza eMzantsi Afrika asiyo yethu, yeye Afrika yonke. Kuba kaloku the Netball World Cup iyaqala ngqa ukuza kweli lizwekazi leAfrika. In 60 years iyaqala ukuza apha. Now icup le cup izabe idlalelwa ngamazwe phaya kwele Ntshona Koloni, iyafika apha eMzantsi Afrika ngomhla we-25 kaMeyi. Ibaluleke ngantoni ke le nto yokuba ngaba ndiyithethe into yoba umhla we-25 kaMeyi yi-Africa Day, and the cup is arriving in South Africa on the Africa Day, on the 25th of May. Izawufikela ke phaa KwaZulu Natal, phaya kwesiya sika Sisibongi Esithole Muloyi, i-Africa Cup ye-netball. Izawuza apha e-Eastern Cape, iyawufika apha nge-29th kaJune, ihambe nge-3rd kaJulayi. Senzela into yokubana nokokuba ngaba awufikanga eKapa kodwa uzukhe uyibone nje noba kungelihlo leKapa bazawube lama country azabe elapha edlalela yona. Zi-16 ke ii-country ezizawube zidlala kule World Cup, kodwa ilizwekazi leAfrika lizawube limelwe ngamazwe amane, 4. La mazwe mane azabe emele iAfrika yi-South Africa, yi-Zimbabwe, yi-Uganda neMalawi. Kodwa la mazwe oyi-4 azabe emele iAfrika, intshatsheli yeAfrika kwi-netball yi-South Africa. Beniyazi loo nto? Beningayazi? Ndiyanixelela ngoku. In the world rankings, i-South Africa ingunumber 5. Kuqala iNew Zealand, kuze iAustralia, kuze iEngland, kulandela iJamaica, kulandela iSouth Africa. So we are actually deserving to be hosting this World Cup. Yes, one. Now, sinethemba ke into kokuba la midlalo ibipha etyhalarha nokunikezelwa kwezinto zokudlala nebhola kuzawuncedisa abantu abatsha okokuba bawazi into yoba imidlalo ibalulekile ekwakheni isizwe. Kuba ukuba ngaba ungumdlali uyayazi into yokokuba awenzi noba yintoni na. Ukuba ngaba ungumdlali awuzobe sikubona ugxadazela apha esithubeni unxilile kuba ungumdlali. Uba ungumdlali asizokubona ingathi usijonge ngamehlo angathi avalekile kuba uthe phithi ziziyobisi. Ukuba ngaba ungumdlali uyalazi ixesha lokungena endlini wakhe ikhaya lakho. Ukuba ngaba ungumdlali uyayazi into yokokuba kubalulekile into yoba abantu abahlala nawe kuhlaleni bayazi into yobana abazothi xa bekubona bazabantwana nabantu besifazane. ke lonto sithe masiqale spala ne-sport structures for their commitment to the development of sport and recreation in their communities. This province has been the breeding ground of a number of talented and athletes and successful sports administrators, and we believe develop ngokuba niziphathe kakuhle bantwana bam. May I also make a clarion call for the continent and the world to support and participate World Netball Cup to be held in Africa and hosted by Africa Month 2023 under the theme A Better Africa and a Better World. Africa Month ngokomthetho yenza into kokubana sazane sazi namasiko ethu ukwenzela into kokubana ungathi xa omnye ungamazi umnyukuthe. The efforts for the decolonization and regeneration of the African continent is important for us as Africans. Africa Month, amongst others, also aims at achieving the following: to promote the African agenda and strengthen the African Union institutions and policies, to implement and bring to life the African Union Agenda 2063 and the Charter for African Cultural Resistance, to promote the regional integration by strengthening people-to-people contact and harmonize policies and share skills and expertise. Now, Africa Month is further regarded as a platform to promote the African Union institution and its programs towards the attainment of its vision. Niyabona ke kukhona nalento ke kuthiwa iAfrica ithe yalontsha into ebizwa ngokuba yiAfrica Continental Free Trade Areas. Yokuqinisekisa into yokuba amazwe aseAfrika ayarhwebelana ukwenzela into yokuba sikhulisane umnotho wethu silapha eAfrika, singathathi izinto zethu ziye phesheya kwezilwandle. Sileli sebe ke siyafuna ukutsho into yoba iyasikhathaza into yokokubana kufumanise into yobana akude kube noxolo ngokupheleleyo apha eAfrika. Isikhathaza ngakumbi into yokokuba sibone into yobana kuyaliwa emazweni aseAfrika. Umzekelo ngoku siyayibona iSudan into yoba iyavunguzela. Kuyakade kufuneka uba amazwe ayolanda abantu babo bababuyise emazweni abo ngenxa yoba kuyaliwa eSudan, balwa bodwa abantu baseSudan. Iyasikhathaza ke lonto, asikuthandi into yobana sibone kungekho xolo kuba inkono yethu into yoba ukuba ngaba akukho xolo kweli lizwekazi leAfrika asizokwazi ukukhulisa i-economy, abantu bazawubaleka baye kwamanye amazwe kalapha eAfrika, bafike apho ngoku bafike abanye bangabathandi, kuthiwe ke ngoku kukho lento kuthiwa yi-xenophobia. Kanti ukuba ngaba amazwe axolile onke, wonke umuntu uyakhulisa, umuntu uzawukwazi uhlala kwilizwe lakhe eze kwelinye ilizwe, not because uzokhangela ubutyebi. Ubutyebi bukhona nakweliya lakhe ilizwe. Yiyo loo nto silufuna uxolo kweli lizwekazi laseAfrika. Uyabona ke i-African Union isoloko isitsho into yokokuba inxaxheba edlalwa zezemidlalo, ubugcisa nenkcubeko bubalulekile ekwakheni isizwe nokuyunayitha abantu. And ukuba ngaba siyayazi loo nto sileli lizwe laseMzantsi Afrika namanye amazwe aseAfrika ayazi loo nto, iyawutsho loo nto yenze into yobana kudityanwe sibe lilizwe elikhulayo siyiAfrika. Nakhumbula ke into yobana ekufonyishweni kwe-Organization of African Unity Charter, thereafter its successor, the African Union, has placed culture at the top of their agenda, as indicated by Article 2 of the Organization of African Union Charter, which affirms the commitment of the member states to the coordination and harmonization of their policies in the domain of education and cultural cooperation within the continent. Nditshilo ke mosuba ndizamane ndisiquba isiNgesi ukwenzela uba nani nive into yoba ndithini na. Now, baphathi bohlelo, u-2023 ke ubalulekile kwikhalenda yeAfrika kuba kaloku i-Organization of African Unity igqiba iminyaka engamashumi amathandathu, 60 years, yafonyishwa kaloku ngo-1963. Okwesibini ke yalandelwa ke ngoku yi-African Union esele yona igqiba iminyaka engamashumi amabini, 20 years. Now, yiyo loo nto uva kuthiwa kune-reference group ukhwezi ebeme apha eyithethela, because as the department we want them to actually look at what have we achieved in these 20 years and 60 years. What were the challenges and what do they propose to move forward? That's why we had put them on. Lo nyaka ke ubalulekile as well kuba i-Southern Africa, le nto sithi yi-SADC, ikhumbula iminyaka engamashumi amathathu anesihlanu, 35 years, since the Battle of Kutokana. Abangayaziyo ke le mfazwe yaseKutokana esancediswa kuyo ngama-Cubans, yiyo eyavula inkululeko for amazwe alapha ezantsi. Now, mandiyithethe ngesingesi ke bazondiva aba basindwendweleyo, nithini nini? All right. The year 2023 is also a special year because it marks 35 years anniversary of the Battle of Kutokana. The battle that marked the beginning of the journey towards SADC liberation and South Africa's liberation in particular, when the liberation forces of MPLA, SWAPO, MK, led by Cuba, defeated the apartheid regime forces on 23 March 1988. Beniyazi lonto? Beniyazi? Beningayazi ne? Oh, nibona nje basikhulekile. Sancedwa ngabantu bamanye amazwe. Yiyo lonto kubalulekile into yobana xa sibhiyoza sibakhumbule inxaxheba abayenzayo. Now, in the 38th SADC Summit of Heads of State and Government held in Windhoek, Namibia, on August 2018, they endorsed the 23rd of March as the day commemorating the liberation of Southern Africa. Celebration of this day pays tribute to the men and women who sacrificed their lives for the liberation of our region, as well as the spirit of togetherness that existed among member states. Officials from our department are engaging with their colleagues in the SADC region to devise tangible sporting and cultural programs to commemorate SADC Liberation Day annually on the 23rd of March. Kusukela ngoku. Baphathi bohlelo. Kukhona ke into ekuthiwa yi-resistance and liberation heritage roots. Apho elisebe lijongana nokuba singalibali soloko sikhumbula apho sisuka khona. Sathi ke amaphondo mawakhethe indawo ezintathu eziza kwenza into yobana sibe sizidevelopa, emva koko xa sizigqibile siphinde sikhethe ezinye. Impuma Koloni ke yakhetha iisayithi ezintathu for the resistance and liberation heritage route. Eyokuqala yiSarah Baartman Center of Remembrance ephaya eHanke. Eyesibini yi-Oliver Reginald Tambo Garden of Remembrance ephaya eNkantolo. Eyesithathu yiBisho Massacre Site ephaya eBisho. Ezi site zintathu siyabancedisa ke isebe lephondo ukuba zidevelope zibe kumgangatho ophezulu kuba zichaza imbali yethu. Sesiphanje sibe siyigqibile le yayipha enkantolo ngokwazi kwami. Silinde nje into yobana le iseHanke igqityezelo nale iseBisho siyigqibile. Furthermore, the Department of Sport, Arts and Culture, in consultation with the Khoi and San communities of the Gamtus Valley. Nyakwazi Gamtus? Okay. Is in the process of development and installation of exhibitions and the development of a museum master plan. Most importantly, this work includes, among other things, research about the history, the heritage, and culture of the Khoi and San, and the development of the storyline and text for the exhibitions and the transfer of arts, craft, training, and skills development during the construction and installation of the exhibition. The transfer of arts, craft, training, and skills includes the identification of exhibition development skills, which will be transferred to the local Kucha community. South Africa celebrates Africa Day by declaring the month of May annual as Africa Month. And siye siqinisekise into yoba ke zonke ikona zomZantsi Afrika zithi bhazalala zenze imibhiyozo yokukhumbula ukuba singama-Afrika. Yiyo ke loo nto sithe masize apha sizolontsha le nyanga sinikhumbuze okokuba yonke le nyanga ukusukela ngoku uyotsho umhla we-31 kaMeyi, madoda nani makhosikazi nani mantombazana, yinyanga khona into ozayikhumbula izinto esizawuzenza silisebe. Iiprogram zethu ziphantse zifike phaa kwiiprogram eziyi-58 esizawuzenza kule nyanga. Sizamane sizichazela kanti namaphondo nawo lona usuku, the 25th of May, will be celebrated phaya kulaa ndawo kuthiwa is the cradle of humankind phaya eKrugersdorp eRhawutini. Sizawuqhuba siye kuwonke amaphondo sithi ke nge-25 kaMeyi sibe phaa kulaa ndawo kuthiwa cradle of humankind. Siyacela ke into yokokuba njengokuba ngabantu kusithiwa nanko umfana udlwengule, nanko omnye ubulela abantu, yela bantu abatsha niqinisekise into yobana niziphatha kakuhle ukwenzela into yokokuba sakhe esi sizwe neli lizwe, ukwenzela uba uMadiba naxa ebukele ejongile abone eli lizwe lenu kunye neAfrika ukuba ibe lilizwe wonke umntu omakaziqhenye ngalo. Siyanicela, let us strive together to build a prosperous Africa that provides economic opportunities for its youth and vulnerable groups. It is our commitment to build an inclusive global world, the world that supports multilateralism and rule of law without fear of favor. Yiyo loo nto sileli lizwe loMzantsi Afrika singazoyenza into yokubamba uPutin xa efika apha, sizoyenza loo nto. Mabambamba bafunayo, thina sileli lizwe laseMzantsi Afrika uzawuza because uza kwintlanganiso yeBRICS. Ayingomsebenzi wethu ukubamba uPutin, abamfunayo mabazomthatha. Asizokumfihla, mabazomlanda bamthathe bambambe, hayi thina ayingomsebenzi wethu lowo. It is our commitment, therefore, that this is our story, the story of a continent that is transforming itself, and it is the one that we need to embrace, project, and work together to transmit. I therefore invite you to work with us as we build a better Africa and a better world. As we will be hosting the BRICS Summit in August in this country and expecting a lot of visitors throughout the world, we hope that you will open up to your Africanism and make sure that they feel welcomed in this part of Africa and Africa. Ndiyabulela kakhulu ngaloo mazwi I declare 2023 Africa Month program officially launched. Ndithi ke ngalamazwi siyayivulela imibhiyozo ye-Africa Month ngokuba sizoyivula apha eQunu. Ndiyabulela kakhulu.
Masibulele ko Honorable Deputy Minister umama uNocawe Mafu ngokuthetha kwakhe wasinika umkhombandlela wabeka ne-dates namanqanaba abalulekileyo kwimbali yabantu baseMzantsi Afrika. Siyabulela mama, sizawubonana eKlerksdorp soyigqibezela khona lo mcimbi. Ndizawuxwaya ke mna ke ezam izinto ndinyuke apha bandilandela abalandelayo. Thank you. Ndifuna ke ukubiza the heartbeat of Africa. Yona kubhalwe apha kwathiwa Mandela Model Creative Arts Academy Production. The heartbeat of Africa. Thathani iqonga abantwana bam. Swekile seyanyuka ngoku.
Ubani bengatshintsha amabubesi. Dembe bona simpieza. Ubani bengatshintsha amabubesi. Dembe bona simpieza. Ubani bengatshintsha amabubesi. Dembe bona simpieza. Ubani bengatshintsha amabubesi. All along the river, James Fitzarmy lay asleep. Come to crush the children of November. Come to exact the realm's price for peace. And in the morning, as they saddled up to ride, their eyes shone with the fire and the steel. The general told them of the task that lay ahead, to bring the people of the sky to heal.
Africa, Mother Nature, womb of great wealth, womb of gold, womb of great ethnicity, womb of Ubuntu. You are the kingdom of great cultures. You are the kingdom of natural beauty. Kingdom of great leaders, kingdom of great history. Your scars are the living beauty. You have been in so much trouble. Today we celebrate your freedom. Our leaders fought to death for you. As Madiba would say, it is better to lead behind and to put others in front, especially when you celebrate victory. You take the front line when there is danger. Then people will appreciate your leadership. Africa, Africa, Mother Nature, womb of great wealth, womb of gold, womb of great ethnicity, womb of Ubuntu.
siphuma e-Afrika, i-Afrika ikhaya lethu sonke.
Enkosi,
Isixhobo
bantwana
saphuma
bam,
siphuma
enkosi,
e-Afrika,
enkosi,
ikhaya lethu sonke.
enkosi, enkosi. Mamu dalinjebo khona mosaba nonhlanhla dalinjebo ndifuna ke aba bantwana bayoperforma nge-18 kaJuly xa sivula istatyu sikabawo omkhulu Mandela phaya emuseum nalapha kule ndawo kwakunye yes Qwabane. You know, there's always a problem. Instead of investing the funds that we are getting from our national government on these initiatives, siphela sizispenda uselessly. So this is high time to ensure that we are promoting them, we are developing them, but not only them, and other groups that were here. They must go and perform. But leya group ibinabafana abaninzi ayizokuya ngoba kudala iperform kudala ifumana lebi lapha abanye bazakuya masidluleke ngoku ke sizawuphakamisa umntana egazi ngoku ke sizawuphakamisa umzukulwana kaMandela ngoku ke sizawuphakanyiswa umzukulwana kabawo umphakanyiswa ngoku sizawuphakamisa ityala lembombo nto zobawona ilungisa ukuhlala uzawuphakama uzwelivelile khabuhlala okomzuzwana uzilungisa ulungise nomoya wakho ntanegazi phakathi kwethu apha we have i-grandchildren zikabawu Nelson Mandela sinabazukulwana bakwaba umphakanyiswa sinabazukulwana bakaba umama uNosekeni abalapha phezulu phakathi kwethu sinomntana ozalwayo phaya ngoba uba uNelson Mandela bandiphazami kakuhle singathi wayenamaduna amabini elinye lawo yayinguThembekile elinye lawo yayinguMarhato uThembekile ke wazala uNdileka kunye nomnye khawuphakame mafungasi izabakubona umzukulwana ke kaba urhola ihlahla Nelson Mandela ewe ke lona uba uNelson Mandela wazala iduna lesibini egama lalo kwakuthiwa nguMarhato ongasekho phakathi kwethu yena ke wazala azwelivelile mawaphakama amadoda mawaphakama onke amadoda nivakale xa nikhahlela umntana egazi azwelivelile kumzukulwana kaDalibhunga ke lona Dalibhunga kaloku apha kulo mhlaba nikumhlaba wekumkani azwelibanzi izake mntana enkosi naba bantwana bakaMandela naba bantwana basebathenjini bezowudakasa kulo mhlaba wakokwenu khawubaxelela uphendule loo nto ukwaziyo ukuyiphendula azwelivelile Nkosi
enkosi bendixakwe nento yoba ndizawuthini. Thank you. Program Director, Mphathi Nkqubo, dignitaries present here this afternoon, ingwevu nengwevukazi, my respected elders, let me take the of the proud Thembu nation. Azwelbanzi. Azwelbanzi. Ukhahlelwa kube kabini sihlale into zakuthi. Bantwana begazi, Your Royal Highnesses, mandwenze abe mafutshane lithi nqanga nentsiba zayo. But let me also recognize our guests. Kuthiwa abantu bangaphandle bayabukwa. Therefore, I would like to take this opportunity to recognize our guests from outside our shores, being their excellencies, the ambassadors, honorable ambassadors from Libya, from Venezuela, from Guyana. We want to acknowledge your presence and thank you for being here with us in our humble home of Qunu. Let me recognize and give salutations to our national government, the Department of Sports, Recreation, Arts and Culture, as led by the Deputy Sona. The detail is on the back. So I'm looking for the detail today. I think we'll change that from now on. It's the detail is in the front. The DG and the officials of the department. At the provincial level, I would like to recognize and the provincial leadership who are here with us today. Also take the opportunity to recognize leadership from the local municipality. Hlekazi wami Nkosi uDudumayo, let me recognize you on the capacity of being in the local. All our traditional leaders, I was greeting you in particular. It is my duty as a messenger to speak to the concerns of His Majesty Ukumkani Uzwelbanzi, who was not aware of this Africa Day celebration. And he requested, Deputy Minister, that I should raise this particularly with you. in making an example of such, he speaks warmly of the MEC Umamumloy, Noba Umloy. Please stand, Mama Backbone, because Ukumkani said I must make you stand. And Uba Umloy should also stand. Coming all the way from KwaZulu-Natal, their first stop was at His Majesty's premises, and they went to greet and acknowledge him as the rightful custodian of African tradition in this land. Thank you. Now, these are the concerns His Majesty has on hosting such an important day and an important occasion that he is not informed by his own subjects or us as mandingene koku andithume kona nditsho ndihlale phantsi. Uthe ke ukumkani ndisebenzise le ntetha yakwaGeorge uze neendwendwe zethu zikwazi uva. I speak in the British, the Dutch, and all our colonizers were never superior to us. They were resourced better. Today, because we are victors, I am reminded today of the words of Nkosi Dalpunga, known to many as His Excellency President Nelson Rolihlahla Mandela, when he said, I quote, "During my lifetime, I have dedicated myself to the struggle of the African people. I have fought against white domination and I have fought against black domination. I have cherished the ideal of a democratic and free society in which all persons live together in harmony and with equal opportunities. It is an ideal which I hope to live for and to achieve. But if needs be, it is an ideal for which I am prepared to die." Close quote. Today, distinguished guests, we are gathered here to celebrate the launch of Africa Day. And in doing so, however, we have to be brutally honest with ourselves and say that our continent is still faced with a myriad of challenges. For the truth is that we are not yet free. We have merely achieved the freedom to be free, the right not to be oppressed. We have not taken the final step of our journey, but the first step on a longer and even more difficult road. For to be free is not merely to cast off one's chains, but to live in a way that respects and enhances the freedom of others. The true test of our devotion to freedom is just beginning, close quote. In beginning this phase of the journey to address the challenges that Africa faces, we would do well to recall the words of the Kenyan author Wangari Maathai. She said, "Nobody knows the solution to every problem of others. Africans need to think and act for themselves and learn from their mistakes," close quote. So as we gather here today in this beautiful village of Kunu, commemorating that day 60 years ago, on the 25th of May, 1963, when Africa made history with the foundation of, or rather the AU, we reflect on the key theme behind the event and our celebration here today. African Freedom Day and African Liberation Day commemorated not only the founding of the OAU, but also its role in bringing the African nations together so that we as a continent, 1 billion strong, can shape a new dawn for all our people. The African Union's 2023 theme for Africa Day is Africa, opportunities in challenging times, which requires us to address the major challenges that we face and we reach for our goal of unity and prosperity in challenging times. In its Africa report, the McKinsey International says that, I quote, oil, natural gas, minerals, forest, and wildlife. The continent in its entirety holds a huge proportion of the world's natural resources, both renewables and non-renewables. Africa is a home to some 30% of the world's mineral reserves, 8% of the world's natural gas, and 12% of the world's oil reserves. The content of cobalt, diamonds, platinum, and uranium in the world are in Africa. It holds 65% of the world's arable land and nearly 50% of its water, of which our human capital. In most African countries, natural capital accounts for between 30 and 50% of the total wealth. Over 70% of people living in sub-Saharan Africa depend on forest and woodlands for their livelihoods. According to the United Nations Environmental Programme, UNEP, land is an economic development asset as well as a socio-cultural resource. A significant share of these resources is, however, used unsustainably, while others are lost through illegal activities, meaning that the stream of benefits generated from these resources is being reduced over time. They state that Africa loses an estimated $195 billion annually of its natural capital through illicit financial flows. illegal mining, illegal logging, the illegal trade in wildlife, unregulated fishing and environmental degradation loss. Collectively, the continent has a lot to gain in pulling together and harnessing its vast natural resources to finance the developmental agenda towards greater prosperity. Resources is result-orientated, climate resilient, and sustainable. My respected elders, Mamangele, our continent is faced by a hunger and poverty, poor quality of education, health infrastructure, political violence as attested by the Honorable Deputy Minister in the case of Sudan, and instability, especially impacting our children, threats to food security, access to finance, and the general malaise of economies not fully harnessed to deliver prosperity and sustainability for all our people. I believe that despite these challenges, the opportunities that we have are equally colossal. We must do more as a collective to ensure that we create wealth and prosperity, not just for ourselves, but for generations to come. Let us move beyond the theme of this Africa Day and harness our collective power through instruments such as Africa Continental Free Trade Agreement to the African continent. And at this time, I should recall Unkosi Dalpunga's visit in 1962 to 16 countries on the African continent that the Deputy Minister alluded to earlier. Before his arrest and the support we received from his release and the final steps in our march to freedom. In conclusion, my respected elders, we should also reflect on these words spoken during when Unkosi Dalpunga said, I quote, "As I sit in Qunu and grow as ancient as its hills, I will continue to entertain the hope that there has emerged a cadre of leaders in my own country and region, on my continent, and in the world, which will not allow that any should be denied their freedom as we were, that any should be turned refugees as we were, that any should be condemned to go hungry as we were, that any should be stripped of Africa's renaissance, will strike deep to the roots and blossom forever without regard to the changing seasons," close quote. Program Director, allow me to invite you all seated here on this Africa Day to the inaugural Mandela Marathon post-COVID, which will be held on the 13th of May, honoring the day Madiba was officially inaugurated as the first president of a democratic South Africa on the 10th of May in 1994. The marathon will start in this very precinct with a 42.2 kilometer marathon, which will go past Madiba's house, go past the Royal Palace to King Dalindyebo, and all the way to Mvezo Komkhulu. The 10 kilometer will start on the N2 on Mbashe River to Mvezo Komkhulu. There are youth seated there at the back with registration forms from the Mandela Marathon. The first prize in the 42 kilometer will be 50,000 to the first women and men winners. Second prize being 25,000 rand, third prize being 15,000 rand, fourth prize 10,000 rand, and fifth prize 5,000 rand. So we encourage our youth in particular to participate in this race and be able to be winners. The 10-kilometer race will also have prizes: 8,000 for the first winner, 5,000 for the second winner, 2,000 for the third winner, 1,000 for the fourth winner, and 500 rands for the fifth winner. We look forward to hosting you all in Madiba's birthplace on the 18th of July as the Nelson Mandela Museum unveils its. There is a statue we've submitted of Nkosi Dalpunga to be put in Mvezo. If we are meaningful to these institutions as the three-legged pot of our traditional pots, we will know them as birth to Nkosi Dalpunga in Mvezo. Request that no statue should be unveiled in these two museums without a statue in Mvezo. We close by saying that this year marks the 10-year anniversary of the passing of His Excellency President Nelson Rolihlahla Mandela. My respected elders, ladies and gentlemen, I was privileged and honored to be invited by His Excellency President Nicolas Maduro through Comrade Ambassador Mayrin Moreno of the Bolivian Republic of Venezuela to attend the 10-year anniversary of the passing of His Excellency Comrade President El Comandante Hugo Chavez, which was truly a befitting commemoration. We look forward as a family as these beautiful hills of Kunu in December, when we commemorate the passing of the founding father of our democracy and our global icon. Adalponga. Adalponga. Happy Africa Day, and I thank you on behalf of His Majesty King Buyelekaya Dalindyebo. Thank you.
Zolibanzi. Masibulele ke kuNkosi uBawo uZwelibanzi ngalo mazwi awathethileyo. Siyabulela kakhulu. Now masidlule ke sizokuthethiwe ke ngoku xa kuthethe abantu abakhulu, there is no other speech. What is expected ngoku is to say a word of gratitude kumntu wonke olapha. Loo nto ke iza kwenziwa ngu-chairperson of Nelson Mandela Museum, umama uScotty. Thank you. Nkosi.
Mandingafuni nengoma, CEO, Program Director. Program Directors ngalenji kalanga. Umzi wasequnu ingwevu nengwevukazi ezilapha ndikhule nje apha Deputy Minister ithethe into yoba amanyange asebathenjini alapha ithethe into yoba amanyange akwaXhosa onke alapha aphumile akunye nathi niyabulelwa ke mandithi ke very respected dignitaries that are here today. Okwam ke kukufutshane, my task is just very small, is to say thank you very much. I would like ukuqhabazela nje into encinane nje eyokuba siyayazi into yoba ceremonies are an intrinsic part of our culture and traditions in Africa. Umntana xa ezalwa siyayazi into yoba bakhona imisetyenzana ye-traditional activities ne-events ezenziwayo zokumamkela. Africa Month abone oko ke uyabulelwa kakhulu the Council of the Nelson Mandela Museum nosapho lulonke Minister. We are very grateful for the support that you continue. You have highlighted some of the memorials in the province of the Eastern Cape, and we appreciate the opportunity that you are offered as the museum to be able to support and ensure the transformation of the heritage landscape in the entire province of the Eastern Cape, which is the home of the legends. Umama ubotsiwe abethetha apha emele yona. Siyambulela kakhulu ke kakhulu Honorable MEC, because awudinwa, you were with us only ngo-December xa besiphaya eBhunga building sikhumbula imini yokushiywa kwethu ngutata Mandela. You were with us and you spoke to Inginginya Yabantu. So we are very, very grateful for that. Heritage as a tool to promote some of the aspirations of the AU, which Usis Kwezi has outlined in terms of the Vision 2063. We collaborate, we work together. I would like to just announce the fact that here, where we are, our donated Luangu Anand Singh, who Anand Singh was a KZN, is a world-renowned film director and a producer who produced a documentary. Documentary, and we're going to have it here as an international film festival. So, Honorable MEC, we are saying this is a space. Make sure that you spread your wings so that your festival that takes place in KZN does not only sit there, but you can host another segment of the film festival here at Kundu. Thank you very much for your support and thank you for coming. Uthethile apha umntwana, uthethile apha umzukulwana, kakhulu ke inkosi xa ithetha mhlekazi xa kuthetha wena inguwe osazisela ikhaya saziva into yokuba kukhona umoya wothando katata Mandela ongasekho phakathi kwethu. We appreciated how much you outlined the endowments that Africa has, and that is something very, very special. And ndicinga into yoba isenza into yoba sihlale sisazi siye Your Excellencies that are here, that spent we are going to hours to ride on your shoulders as we seek, to harness collaborations, at an intercontinental level to ensure that all the programs that we implement in our country designers, those young girls that and that is something that you are going to do. Exactly that. Ladies and gentlemen, without wasting much time, masibulele xa umuntu enikwe igama elingubulelwa ayithethi into yoba kufuneka abulele yena kodwa ke ithethi into awe sisikhwezi kunene nithethe kamnandi. Department isukile bethuna neGauteng province yabalapha eMthatha. They spent days, DG and DDGs, zonke i-officials ezisuka phaya kwi-Department of Sport, Arts and Culture, nephondo leMpuma Koloni ngokunjalo, ne-officials zazo zizezabalapha zizochitha ixesha to prepare for this event esithi xa siyijongile siyibone into yokuba yonke iAfrika ihlangene. Siyanibulela kakhulu for your time and for your efforts in ensuring that this event is what it is today. We would like to extend a warm word of gratitude, ladies and gentlemen. I have already mentioned the exhibitors that are here, the crafters, there are fashion designers out there. We were informed that there are traditional healers ezisuka apha eSouth Africa, ezaseSomalia, ezisuka eZimbabwe. You dare not miss this opportunity. Ukufa kulapha embizeni asizukuyazi thina loo nto kodwa ke uba uyaya phaya ufumane i-consultation ulapho uyawuthi ufumane khona umxholo. Kubalulekile ke bethunani into yoba xa sijonge into e-indigenous knowledge size acknowledge izikills zabantu bethu. That is exactly the reason why the local organizing team had decided in Dogma, as much as we are used to situations where we would have an ambulance, we will have doctors on call, masiqinisekise nakuthi in Dogma sinazo isangoma zethu for a consultation. So please feel free to go to them and uyova in Dogma uthunyelwe ntoni na indaba uyofanele ukuzifumane namhlanje. CEO, who is heading the Nelson Mandela Museum. You are here with your whole staff. Beningaphumli bethunani and ndibonile into yoba kude kwabakho no-CFO. Many a times CFOs sit in the offices, zibale, zicount dollar, zisenza into yokuba xa kufuneke kuripotiwe, i-reports zibe khona, but you spend your day, you spend your nights here preparing with the rest of the staff members of the Nelson Mandela Museum. Thank you very much. Obviously, ourselves as the councillors, we would not have been able to do that. Now, ladies and gentlemen, allow me, with due respect, Deputy Minister, to request all the members of the Council of the Nelson Mandela Museum to just rise, ziphakamise isandla, asizuzazisa ngamagama wazo, but ngabo abantu abanibulelayo besithi enkosi. Council members, thank you very much as you rise. These are the new members is from KZN. Inkulu ke into ene KZN. The gentleman on my right is the gentleman from KZN. And Sinengumbana, who is the deputy chairperson, Dr. Potelo, Medicity Andizunazi Sangenaya Glesha, Ekalen kwakhe sibe no Dr. Songelwa obekade siyavuya kakhulu into abasebe kula council kwakunye noMadlomo omele ikhaya bethu nani sibe nomama uFaith esimazi kakhulu kwa SABC program phaya yokuqinisekisa into yokuba nokuphunyuliswa kukatata uMandela uhamba ngendlela efanelekileyo. So Mama Faith Mgadi is with us. Sibe naye uDr. Nonso. uDr. Andile Nonso is a businessman eyaziwayo apha, very passionate about corporate governance, and he serves in at phaya egqibeleni sibe nelady elihle kakhulu uTia van der Sant. Utia ukunye nathi apha utata ogama lakhe endithi ke ukuba kukhutshwa inkomo Madiba xa kudliwa uCEO edliwa into yoba ephakamise uMadlomo phaya mhlawumbi ke kuyafuneka ke sijonge into yokuba umdlalo lo unegama elifana nelikatata nanki aphaya siye ngaphi na emva
Announcements. There's a Zimbabwe, from Nigeria, from Ghana and South Africa. Will be going this direction. In fact, all the guests. So, Mr. Bata. And also that other side, next to those flags, African flags, is happening there, exhibition hall number 1, and also exhibition hall. You want to understand national healers, you right. There will also be a lunch for everyone inside the white tent just behind. And then after that, zonke indwendwe zethu zizabuyela phaa kulamagumbi apha phezulu kulapho zizawutya khona. Ndizawufuna ke zonke ii-marshals so that we don't have a confusion whatsoever ezizawuthatha abantu zibase kwezi ndawo zahlukeneyo. And asihambe apha ngaphandle kwezola. That is the instruction right from UDM. Zola 7. Yes, Zola 7. Zola 7, we are all waiting for you. You are one of our greatest artists in the country. Come. Thank you. Just immediately after the performance of Zola.
1, 2,
All the marshals should come forward.
1, 2. 1, 2. Dig Villa Dad. 1, 2. Why? Hey, las Puma Corner. Everybody love me, las Puma Corner. Ha! Hey! What? A las Puma Corner. Tina Gas, si ghetto fabulous, yeah? Tina Gas, oh Tina Gas. Tina Gas, si ghetto fabulous. Oh, fabulous. Si ghetto fabulous. Hello? Fabulous. Si ghetto fabulous. Ha, ha. And Vele was smart. Coming on the fun, I get to shovel work cleaner. Vele was born. Coming on the fun, I get to shovel work cleaner. And if I die, everybody that was trying to was in Yaktwala out. And if I die, everybody that was trying to was in Yaktwala. Vele was I'll see ghetto fabulous, yeah. I'll see ghetto fabulous. Oh, fabulous. See ghetto fabulous. Voila. Hey, my youth is over there, you know. Oye, Gintogozo, Hulimi. Ayo, Logengi, Kuzwaye. Akikila, Kumnandi, Kumnandi. Hello, the way this thing is going so fast now, Shane. Oh, Diaktanda, no matter what they say. No matter what they say, hello, the way this thing is. Oh. Later. 1, 2. Yeah. Pull the class. Hey. Bambi Sanga Sami with my people the cast. Chulunga can you please, soon as on your base. Bambi Sanga Sami with my people the cast. Come on, Chulunga can Baba umatrasi. Nakama chibose Palace and cars and king with pop. Machibo sekas. Bam, kita ma popcorn at Bali Strat. So Tivana Bokuluva Dota Machas. Easy coffee and Lamani Nabo Fagas. Dota Matote no Vanagetis and Mazi. Tulunga Kali, please. Sulas on your base. Bambisanda Sami, where my people are come. Bambisanda Sami, where my people are come. Stressy, Pilisi, no Kavini, where's a Banugel, where you can't see. Look, I had a choice with Plome Makishi. For kept his life from Melagot Bali Mali, but I couldn't. Selekasi, it breaks my heart. Love him, Makone. It means seven. Like Kutakutale Mikukwini, young black and gifted, Kwelema Seleni, day after day, so Balasema Tuneni, Ushisa Napagati Nalengo Mifuzikazi, Tulunga Kali, please, Sulas on your base, Bambisanda Sami, when my people are cars, Tulunga Kali, please, Sulas on your base, Bambisanda Sami. Hi, how are you? You, son, a chance. Yeah. Hola. Sit now. The Grandi. Salvana Wakosa. Ninjani. When I teaching of Shire. Salvana Kokanjan. Thank you. Yeah. Hey. Papa party. Kunjani party. Yabona leskiphe ngisgqokile. Says Google 27. I hope say ikhumbula next year. Sibavakashela now. But thanks for inviting us. Siyabonga kakhulu. Bengaphinde ngibe ngaphandle kwakho. Shala nomphathi izandla. Donkey. Party, I just have one explanation.
Oh, last 7.
Up to today, I'm Mazo not all. I see it those. Jumps on them sense of fire. Out on your pachaza. So pose. So we wash without you naughty. Hey! Sangue. Hey! Afune onye sangue. No your pachaza. Afune. Asniz. What away no chat. So we wash without you naughty. Hey! Ususum sin. Hey makala, say makala. Ususitas. Hey, I tumganje my zoha. I'll pack my and hit the road. Pack my bags and hit the road. Pack my bags and hit the young Iswanana. Zomtina. Pack my bags and hit the road. Pack my bags and hit the young Iswanana. It takes a fight. Only a pachaza. So hey, and say I'm so. She's just a friend. I'm not. And say I'm so. She's just a friend. I'm not. Oh, so go. Usanda. Anchai-vella. Hey, yes. Zano pizza. Banapa. She's just a She's just a Yangisa. Hey, Kungisa Nguwe. Things on fire. Kungisa Nguwe. Yapachasa. Zampuza. Konja wenu cha. Sugu imosh. Kuna tunoti. Hey. Ususumsin. Ususumsin. Hey, Makala, say Makala. Hey, I Tunganje. I'll pack my bags and he hit the. I'll pack my bags and he hit the road. Pack my bags and he hit. You was on a leg. I'll turn down your baha. Usugu imosh, kuna tunoti. She's just a friend, I'm not address, I'm not better. Yo, then say I'm sorry. She's just a friend, I'm not address, I'm not better. Yes, come on, them things on fire.